There's one question that I think everybody asks themselves, and every homeless person asks themselves, which is how not to be homeless. How do you not be homeless? How do I not get caught up in homelessness? How do I not add to the homeless crisis? You may have different ways that you ask the question, but ultimately, everybody wants to know the best way to be able to avoid homelessness. As somebody who's dealt with chronic homelessness and even put myself in a position where I thought that I would never be homeless again, what I can do is I can share with you some things that I've learned, and it's playing into my plan that I have right now. But there are some things that I have learned that if I would have been able to do them early on, I probably wouldn't have experienced homelessness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some of those things with you for those of you that are curious about this question. So the first thing most people say is, well, you just need to have a good job. Well, there's no such thing as a good job anymore. And most jobs don't even pay what you're worth or give you a livable enough income based upon what it takes from you. Americans spend more time working harder to get less than we ever did before. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. So, having a good job is not necessarily going to keep you from becoming homeless. But what will keep you from becoming homeless is becoming self-employed, starting a business. Starting a business gives you a lot of different tools. It creates certain skill sets. It allows you to network and work within your community. If I really wanted to, I could have used what I had in the infrastructure that I had to recreate or to keep certain amounts of money coming in. But I saw the writing on the walls, one, and two, I was kind of burnt out. So it was in my best interest to kind of let my business go instead of continuously fighting for something that I knew was not going to be a winning solution. Sometimes what happens economically, or you have your black swan events like the pandemic or the border crisis, things like that. It doesn't matter like what setup you have. There's going to be so many people that are affected that they can't really avoid it or change it or prevent it from happening. But having that self-employed mentality is going to make it much easier, because now you look at things as everything is commercial. Everything that I do can be monetized. Every skill that I have has a value for the right people. And so being self-employed is going to be something that is going to help you prevent yourself from experiencing homelessness in the worst case possible. But if you are really good at it and you're really passionate about it and you don't get burnout like I did, it's something that will always make sure that you have enough money. You may not be able to rent an apartment, but you will be able to rent a hotel room if you really need to, or for a specific period of time. Because the thing is it gives you unlimited income. It gives you flexibility of schedule. It gives you a lot of different things, but it also changes things up here. The way that you see the world, the way in which you're responsible, as a worker, showing up for on time for work really is important to you as a business owner, because you realize that, you could lose hundreds of dollars if you don't show up on time for work. Things like that are really, really big deals and big changes that you're going to make. Another thing that you're going to want to do, especially if you want to prevent yourself from becoming homeless, is that you are going to want to network within your community. Okay, so this goes right along with being self-employed. You are able to develop relationships within your community, within your area, your region. Not only through what it is that you do, but through other avenues, whether it be your marketing and your advertising. And you're developing these relationships with people that when the whole world comes falling apart, these are going to be the people that will be able to give you a much better opportunity of getting off the streets, getting back on your feet, keeping stability, keeping money in your pocket, even in that situation. Things like that are going to be extremely important for you should you ever end up on the verge of becoming homeless. Because again, the thing is you have no control over the economy. You have no control over these politicians and opening up our borders, or making everybody stay home and not realizing the unintended consequences of lockdowns for 3 to 6 months, depending upon where you were and what type of business you had and things like that. And then, on top of like all the other crap that was going on during that period of time, there really is no way to prevent yourself from ever becoming homeless. There are only things that you can do to pre-position yourself to either make it easier, a quicker turnaround time, a quicker, pickup time. Because even when I relocated my business from Oregon to Texas, I spent a couple of months sleeping in my car, but I didn't have to go beg or take any government services or anything else like that, because my business was bringing in money. I just needed to, get the engine re-greased and get the pistons going and just get the thing up and running and doing well. So these are some things that I was able to do, and still experience homelessness, but it's not really homelessness because I was sleeping in my work vehicle. I got up every morning, I went to work, I came home, I had a gym membership so I could go take my showers. I went and I did my laundry, make sure that everything was up and good. So for a temporary period of time, I was in my car and I was living the van life, but was I really? I was just going temporarily, like cutting some of my overhead back so that I could take advantage of the potential gains from doing the relocation. And so therefore, even in business, you're going to have to make certain sacrifices like that. But again, you make those sacrifices in the beginning so that you don't have to make bigger sacrifices later on, okay? And then lastly, I think the other thing that is going to be really, really important and preventing your homelessness is what's going on up here, okay? You've heard me talk during one of my live streams, because I do a live stream almost every night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I did a segment called Humanity, Integrity, and Accountability, because those are three main character traits that you need to have to be able to be cohesive. If you end up losing everything, you're going to have friends, you're going to have family, you're going to have people that you've networked with that, hey, can I park my car on your property, sleep, at night? I'll be gone during the day. Will I go do my work? Do you mind that I do that? Or, hey, do you mind that I use your backyard? Or, hey, is it okay if I sleep on your couch while I'm kind of get myself restructured? Okay. Because the thing is what you are is what you will attract. So if you're a complete douchebag to people, you have no humanity, well then don't expect people to have humanity towards you. If you're not accountable, if you're not responsible, if when you say something and you don't do it, you don't follow through, you may say, well, I follow through on the big things. Well, you know what, that's not always true. In my experience, the small things are an indicator of what you will do during the big things. And a lot of people are like, well, no, I show up to work on time. Well, yeah, so you can show up to work on time, but you don't show up to a date on time. What does that say? Okay, and so these are things that as an individual, you should really take into account and actually hold it very seriously, because this will, in the event that you do become homeless because of no fault of your own, you've done everything you can to pre-position yourself and to get set up. This will allow you to be able to have the not only the proper relationships within your community, but for people that want to root for you, that want to see you succeed, they're going to have a lot more desire and a more willingness to help you than if you're a flake. Okay. And then accountability is a big part of all of this, because even when you screw up, you got to sit there and acknowledge I screwed up. Just like if you guys heard me talk over the last couple of nights about the live stream, Pebbles, she feels bad about what happened. That's her accountability. She understands that she did wrong. She is willing to accept her fault, and so on and so forth. And so that is an admirable quality and trait. And so when you screw up, it makes it less bad on you or less worse on you, because when people see that you're willing to accept responsibility for your fault in something and your role that you played in that whole thing, it's a lot easier for them to sit back and have we'll call it mercy, or to have compassion or humanity towards you, because of those things. Okay, so if you're looking for different ways to be able to prevent your homelessness or to avoid being homeless and things like that, these are the three things that I strongly suggest. If you guys have anything else to add to this, go ahead and put it down in the description, or not in the description, in the comments, and I look forward to reading your comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, come on over to Patreon if you want to help the channel out financially. It's all down in the description. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in next week's hobo tutorial videos.